Hello everyone, my name is Gothic Cowplants and welcome back to Pleasantview. In today's video, we are renovating one of the most iconic houses in The Sims 2, the Goth Mansion. This took me a few days real time and a lot of custom content to complete, so if you enjoy this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel for more speed builds and gameplay videos in the future. I've already renovated Don Lothario's condo, the Goth Mansion, obviously, and next up will be the Caliente Sisters condo, which that one I'm really excited for because that one I feel like you can have a lot of fun with. So if you want to see more like that, please do subscribe. Anyway, here I am using these mansion and garden roof pieces. The whole house doesn't actually have like any real roof. It's just those little roof pieces. And then I end up adding on a garage where I do use like a real roof. But I use those little roof pieces from Mansion and Garden. I really like those. I think they come in really handy, and I wish that that was something they included in the other Sims games. I don't think that they have anything like that in The Sims 3. Well, they might in The Sims 3, but I don't think they have anything like that in The Sims 4. But I mean, then again, The Sims 4 has better roofing tools in general. But I downloaded some recolors for the roof off of Mod The Sims, because normally it just comes in like this like weird green color, and then there's that light gray, which I have on there right now, but I wanted something darker and more appropriate for the Goth Mansion, so I went ahead and downloaded a bunch of recolors, and you can see right now I'm choosing a different color. I end up just going with that blacker tile, and I think I go with this black trim as well. I do wish that like the little windows on the inside there, they remain white, but I do wish that those would have changed color as well, but there wasn't anything I could do about that, and I still think it ends up looking okay, even with the white windows. But this house was actually something that I struggled with for a while at first. I kind of felt like I didn't have enough content in the game to like do what I wanted to do with it. So I ended up downloading like a ton of custom content for this. And I mean, like I said, it took me days to complete. But I am really happy with how it turned out in the end. I think it looks really nice, and most of the custom content that I ended up using were conversions from The Sims 4, especially conversions from the Vampires stuff pack, or not stuff pack, the Vampires game pack. And then I also have like all of the flooring and all of the walls from The Sims 4 in The Sims 2, so that was really helpful too. And then I think I use base game, or maybe not base game, but I use like in-game windows all over the house. And then that door is from the Bespoke Build Collection by Honeywell. So I used definitely a lot of custom content in this one, but I think it looks pretty good at the end. You can see here I'm trying to recolor these stairs at the front, and I finally end up making it work. But then I discover that I don't have like a matching fence for these stairs. Like there's no just plain black fence, so I end up having to go download one of those. But for right now, I just put the like iron stairs there, which those ones looked good too, but I ended up going with wooden ones. And then here I am choosing which windows I wanted. I ended up going with these little colonial looking ones that have the shutters on them. And then I was thinking about changing the floor plan of this house as well, because I mean, first of all, for a mansion, it has not a lot of bedrooms. Like there's really just not a lot of like private space in this house. the this big entryway takes up like a lot of the space downstairs, and then the bedrooms upstairs don't really make a lot of sense either. But I ended up keeping the same floor plan. Well, if not the same floor plan, a very similar floor plan. One thing I wanted to do was keep that bathroom downstairs, because if you don't keep this one right here in the front, there isn't another bathroom downstairs, which I thought was just kind of unrealistic. But there's like no better place to put it, which was kind of annoying. But I ended up keeping that bathroom, and I think it worked out fine because the windows are like pretty small anyway. But you can see here, I'm trying to like find a way, or I tried to find a way to make the kitchen a little bit bigger, because the kitchen in this house is also really, really small, especially for like a mansion. But I ended up just leaving it how it was, and I mean, I was able to fit everything that I needed to fit in there. And I think it looks good in the end, but I mean, ideally they would have like a little bit bigger of a kitchen, right? But no, I guess EA decided to spend all their time on the entryway for this house instead. So here I am doing that. I thought about putting this big grand piano in the center of the room, but then I decided to go with like the other piano that stands like up against the wall. And I just put like a little table with some flowers in the middle here. And another thing that I really struggled with this house was like the color scheme. Originally I had black and red with like the black wood, and I had like a bunch of silver fixtures. But then I didn't really have, like, there's not a whole lot of black furniture in the game unless you download like a whole bunch of recolors, which at this point I hadn't done. So, I mean, I end up downloading like a bunch of black furniture recolors, but at the time I didn't like have those, so I was really torn between just sticking with like this black wood and having some pieces of furniture that just don't really match the space, or going with like a dark brown wood and not really having the color scheme that I wanted to go with. But I ended up just caving and downloading like a bunch of custom wood colors. So that's not a problem in the end. But you can see here, I've got this black sideboard. I think it's from Buggy Boo's, like one of their kitchen sets or something. And then that mirror, I love that mirror above the sideboard. I use that like everywhere in the house. And right now it's silver, which I don't think looks as good, but I do change it to gold later on, and I use like a whole bunch of gold fixtures in the house. And another thing I want to bring up is there are going to be parts of this video where you'll see like one room is like completely furnished that you didn't see me furnished, and that's because I had to cut out like kind of a lot of this video, and I had to like kind of film only what was really important, because my computer, you guys, is like almost completely out of storage. And so when I've got like 5 video clips that are each like an hour long of me just building, it kind of becomes a hassle to try and continue building when I only have like a little bit of storage left. So that's something that I need to work on. Honestly, I've thought about just like uninstalling The Sims 4, because that's what's taking up like most of my storage and I don't even really play it. But I did end up recording most of it, and I tried to put in as much of the footage as possible, which is why this video is so fast. This is in like 10 times speed, which my last one I think was in 5 times speed. So I mean, this is literally twice as fast as the last one. I mean, it's a little fast. I don't think it's like too fast, but it's definitely, I mean, it's definitely pretty quick. So let me know if this is too fast to watch, if this is like uncomfortable. I probably won't make another speed build that is this fast next time or ever again, hopefully. But I mean, this house was so huge that like this video was doomed to be really long no matter what. I thought about doing like 2 parts to this speed build and doing like the exterior in one part and then furnishing it in the next part, but then I realized that I kind of like build very frantically. Like I'm kind of all over the place when I build. I typically do like one room at a time, and that's when I'll change like all the windows and doors and everything. And then like if I remember, oh, I wanted to do this outside, like I'll just go outside and do that really quickly. So it wouldn't really fit very well for me to do 2 parts, like 2 separate parts, interior and exterior, because I mean, I'm just kind of all over the place all the time. But here I am attempting to furnish the kitchen for the first time. There was a second time that I tried to come in here and furnish the kitchen that did not make it into this video. I had to cut that because it was, I mean, it just took like a lot of time. Because I spent like an hour one day going in and changing like all the colors to the house and just like trying to go with like a dark brown wood color. And then I gave up and went back to the black wood color, which I do think ends up looking better in the end. But it was definitely kind of a struggle to pick what I wanted. And then here I am trying to find like black cabinets, which is a struggle because the kitchen stuff in vanilla Sims 2 is, I mean, it's just awful. You can download some recolors for the cabinets and everything, and it's usable, but I think if you're going to download like build and buy CC, kitchens are definitely, that's definitely like a must for me. But like I said, here I am working on the outside now for no apparent reason. I was just working on the kitchen and now I'm outside like choosing the walkway. So, like I said, I work very sporadically, I guess is the word. And then I'm trying to pick like a little welcome mat here. I have a lot of welcome mats. I don't know why. I really don't have that much. Or I don't have that many custom rugs in general, but I do have a lot of welcome mats. And then I ended up downloading some custom fencing as well from, I think these are all conversions from The Sims 3. I know this one is. And this is the one that I end up going with all around the house. And I think it looks really nice. And then the dining room here. This, I think, is probably the room that I struggled with the most. Because I couldn't find like a table that was big enough and like fancy enough, and then I couldn't get a rug that was like that looked like it fit underneath that table. Like they have bigger rugs in game, but a lot of them are like modern or whatever. I mean, don't they have like a rug that's like a basketball court, or am I misremembering that? So I tried to use carpet for a little bit here, but then I do end up going and like scouring the internet for some custom content rugs. One thing about downloading Sims 2 custom content is you're going to end up going to like the very depths of the internet from like 2006 and just downloading stuff from like websites that nobody has been on in 10 years. But I mean, that's where you can find the best custom content half the time. So it's tedious, but it's worth it. And then here is when I discovered that I couldn't find a fireplace that I liked that matched, which was, you know, very, very devastating to me because I've spent so much time already, like, just searching for recolors all over the place. And then I had to go make sure that I had like the CEP installed correctly so that I could even have the colors or the recolors for the fireplace, which I didn't have installed correctly. And that's why the custom fireplace that I thought I had was not showing up. But I mean, I got it sorted in the end, and now we have a nice, beautiful black colonial fireplace. So that's nice. And then here, I guess I didn't show where I like completely gutted the kitchen. So here's me redoing it again. I end up using these, I think they're the Manor House kitchen counters. I think you can download it on the Sims resource or Mod the Sims. I'm not sure which, but there's like 2 sets to it. I mean, it came out like years ago and it has like a lot of downloads, so it's probably pretty easy to find. But there aren't like cabinets that come with the Manor House kitchen that you can really put just anywhere. Like they have those ones that are like longer and have the plates and stuff in there. But I mean, you only want like those exposed cabinets or those exposed plates, like if you're doing like a hutch or something. So I ended up going with different cabinets than the counters, which I think it looks fine in the end because I mean they're both like the same color wood. You can't really tell. And then here I am trying to find a wallpaper that I want to go with. That's another thing I struggled with this house. Or that's another thing I struggled with this house very badly is finding like what wallpaper I wanted to do. I was torn between like using a gray wallpaper and using like a red wallpaper, and I tried to switch it up and use gray in some rooms because I felt like I was using too much red, but then I felt like the gray wasn't dark enough and I couldn't find like a black wallpaper that I liked. I have like black wallpaper custom content, but it's got like bats on it. I think it's from vampires in The Sims 4, which I mean like is nice, but I don't think that even the Goth family would just straight up have wallpaper that has like bats on it. But here I am putting all the appliances and stuff in the kitchen. I wanted so badly to be able to put that sink underneath that window, but it just didn't work out like that, which is why I originally had like that 2 tile like huge oven over there. But it was like kind of clipping and it just looked kind of weird, so I just put the sink off center, which does bother me, but I put like a dishwasher next to it so it's not as bad. But here I am finally returning to the dining room after abandoning it to go place tiles down outside. And I find a table that I like. I don't know, is it this one? I can't remember if I end up going with this one. And then these dining chairs, which are a conversion from the Sims 4 base game, I believe. Those are the ones I ended up using. I think they look pretty nice. Because I spent like a while looking through all of the dining chairs that I had in game, and even though some of them like are fancier and more gothic, none of them had like good swatches, so I had to again go look all over the place for custom content, and eventually I found something that I kind of liked. So there's the dining room. Let's see. Oh yeah, another thing that I spent a lot of time looking for were those like china cabinets. Those were kind of hard to find, but luckily there are people out there who are more organized than I am who have created databases and all of that for finding like Sims 4 to Sims 2 conversions or Sims 3 to Sims 2 conversions. So those are good places to look for anybody who might be on the lookout for any custom content. And I mean, there's obviously tons of Create a Sim stuff as well. But I don't know. I have more fun downloading build and buy custom content, I feel like. Because I've always just been more, well, I wouldn't say I'm more of a builder. I'd say I'm more of like a furnisher. Like, I don't really, I used to like create a sim a lot, but not so much anymore. Like, I just can't really be bothered. I like to put cute outfits on my sims, but sometimes I just find that I get like so frustrated because I can't find like exactly what I want and the elements of like each outfit. Like, I'll like an outfit that my sim is wearing, but then it'll be like it comes with really weird shoes or something, and I like can't bring myself to put them in that outfit. So that gets really frustrating, but I've been looking at downloading that mod. I think it's a Lazy Duchess mod that allows for you to have separate tops and bottoms and all of the other outfit categories in The Sims 2. Because, I mean, you can have like tops and bottoms in your everyday wear category, but for some reason they never made it so that you could do that for formal wear and swimwear and sleepwear and all of that. So I've been thinking about downloading that mod, but I think it looked, I don't know, I think I looked at it and decided that it was like too too complicated to download at the time, which is probably just me being lazy, but I'll have to go back and look at that. And then here I am looking for rugs again. We have such a lack of rugs in The Sims 2. I mean, really, there's like a lack of everything, even though we do have like a decent amount of furniture and everything. It's all just so dated or like specific, like themed, you know? And it's kind of hard to use a lot of the times, but I ended up using, like I said, a bunch of custom content, and I think I ended up making the house look pretty nice in the end. There's that custom fireplace I was talking about. And then what do I end up doing here? I don't put a TV in this house, by the way. Not just in this living room. I don't put one at all. I put that picture of Bella above the fireplace, actually. I think I put more than one of those in the house. There's probably another one upstairs in Mortimer's bedroom, I think. Because, you know, I mean, she's missing. It's like an ode to Bella, which I'm not so sure how happy Dina will be about that when she moves in here, but we'll see we'll see if she gets her way there. And I had to put a bunch of stuff up on the OMSPs. What is it? One more slot placement. Is that what it stands for? I think so. But I put a bunch of clutter on the OMSPs and put them on the mantle of the fireplace. And then you saw me put that little vase of flowers there on the coffee table. And I actually used these curtains that came with The Sims 2, or maybe not The Sims 2 like base game, but one of the expansions or stuff packs or something like that. These red curtains with like the little gold, what do you call them? Like tie off things? I don't really know. And like the golden curtain rod, which normally I never use these because they're just so bright and like kind of gaudy almost, but I thought that they fit the house better than just the traditional like plain curtains, so I put those there. And then here I am looking for this damn fish tank, which I can never find that fish tank. I sat there for like, I kid you not, 10 minutes just looking for that fish tank. I ended up having to Google it at one point because I got so frustrated. I Googled, like, where is the fish tank in The Sims 2? And I just was getting, like, a bunch of stuff for, like, The Sims 4, like you always do when you Google something for Sims 1 or 2 or 3. Which, that's another thing that pisses me off so bad, is like all of the Sims 4 content being listed like under The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 or whatever, because it just, I mean, that's not what you're looking for. It's already hard enough to find like newer content or the same amount of content for The Sims 4 in the older Sims games. And when you've got The Sims 4 clogging up, all of the like search results for the other games, then it becomes even harder. But here I am putting or trying to find like a good gray wallpaper to put in Mortimer's bedroom. I don't know if this is the one I end up going with. I can't remember. Um, but it looks like that's the one I'm choosing. I don't know. Who knows? And then I put like this little reading nook kind of in this room for them. I was torn between putting like that big armoire, I don't know. Putting like that big dresser there. I ended up, I think, going with like a regular size dresser. Yeah, that little dresser right there, which again, I had to download a recolor for because they only have like one wood tone for it. But I downloaded recolors for it and managed to use it in multiple places all over the house. And I end up getting rid of that big dresser, which I put one of those in Cassandra's bedroom, so it's not like completely gone for the house or it's not completely gone from the house because I do like those dressers. I think they're nice and dramatic, and that's definitely something that would be in the Goth mansion. But here I am looking for clutter to put on this dresser, and I'm realizing that not a whole lot actually slots onto the dresser, so I'm definitely going to have to use cheats to throw stuff up there. I don't know what I actually put. Oh, yeah. I put like a vase up there and like some candles or something. And I think it looks nice in the end, but I definitely am in the need for more just clutter in The Sims 2. I have a bunch of clutter in The Sims 3, like custom content wise, and The Sims 4 kind of has a lot anyway because there's just so much constant content being pumped out for that game. Like, you're eventually bound to wind up with some of it. Um, but I put these little couches at the foot of the bed here as well. And like I said, I put that bookshelf so that Mortimer and probably Dina in the future can have a nice little space to read. Not that I think Dina would read at all, but if she were to decide to look at the pictures in the books or whatever, she could do so there. And then here I am trying to find a good computer for Mortimer, which is something that I unreasonably struggled with because I decided that like none of them were just fancy enough, but also like not fancy enough, if that makes any sense. But I ended up just going with like a plain computer from like the Sims 4 base game, I believe, and they are all of the computers that I placed in this house and in all of my other builds as well in the past and in the future, they'll all be Monique's hacked computers because those things are like godsends. They make gameplay so much easier and like they're definitely a necessity for me. So I went ahead and put a bunch of those throughout the house. And then now we're upstairs trying to furnish the master bathroom, which the bathrooms are another thing I struggled with in this house. I struggled with kind of a lot in this house, but especially bathrooms. I ended up doing this kind of weird shape in the master bathroom where I closed off these two corners so that I could kind of have this like double sink moment going on in the middle. And then I went and had to download like recolors for like shower curtains and everything, and it was just kind of a tedious process, but in the end I do think I'm happy with how the bathrooms turned out. I don't think I put in any screenshots or anything though, just because I mean the bathroom is such like a small place that's kind of hard to maneuver the camera into like that tight of a space. But I ended up going with that golden, like floral kind of shower curtain, and I think it looks pretty good in the end. And then I'm trying to find like curtains here that make sense, and I end up going with those like black floral curtains, which normally I would never use those, but in this house I think they seem kind of fitting, and I actually think they look pretty nice. And then I tried to find something to put on the wall, but I couldn't really find anything. And also, I don't really know how you'd be able to like hammer a painting into tiled walls, so I just ended up leaving it blank. And then up here, I did the same thing that I did downstairs, where I put these two little living chairs in the corner and then put like a telephone in the middle. I only put two phones in this house, which is something that I might have to fix in the future because I feel like, at the very least, Cassandra should have her own phone. So we'll see. I mean, I guess I can buy her a cell phone if she ever goes anywhere. So, yeah, I mean, I can buy them cell phones and all that. Alexander, I don't know if he would need his own phone. I don't really think that he would. But he is aging up soon. So maybe. But then I'm doing this other bathroom here. And I also deleted that door um, into Alexander's bedroom because I thought it was really weird that he would have like this ensuite bathroom and Cassandra doesn't have one. So I decided to take that privilege away from him. And I also removed the door that connected it to the other bathroom because, again, that's just really weird. I don't know what it was with Maxis and like their need to put so many doors all over their houses, but they do that in like all the Sims games, I swear. Like, it's just constant, huge bathrooms, tiny, tiny bedrooms, weird diagonal shapes. They're just, I mean, we've seen some funky builds come out of Maxis over the years, but honestly, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I feel like a lot of the builds in The Sims 3 and The Sims 2 that come with the game, or that came with the game, I feel like a lot of them kind of look better than the ones that come with the game in The Sims 4. Not anymore because they use like actual people who play the games now to build the houses, but when the game first came out, I mean it was a disaster. It was a disaster. I remember when Realm of Magic came out, which isn't one that I bought because I don't really care about all of that kind of stuff. Um, one of the houses in the world like was missing like the back steps. So like there was no way that your sim could like get down through the backyard or whatever. And then one with Get Famous, I think is like missing a toilet. Like there's not a toilet in the whole house. Which is a pretty big, I mean, that's a pretty big oversight. Like if you're paying $40 for a game, I mean, your Sims better have some place to pee, you know? I don't know. That pack also is one that I was just really disappointed with. I don't know why I'm ranting about The Sims 4 and Sims 2 video, but I mean, it's too late now. Get Famous, I feel like could have been such a good pack, but they just kind of, I don't know. I just feel like they didn't do as much with it as they could, and now it's like, in my opinion, one of the worst Sims 4 packs. Which honestly, I haven't played The Sims 4 in a hot minute because it's always broken and you never really can play it. Hence me creating a Sims 2 YouTube channel because this game actually works, even though, I mean, I'll admit you have to jump through hoops to get this game to run because it is 20 years old. But if you get it to run, I mean, your Sims, for the most part, like, know what they're doing. Like, they're not gonna just stand there for 20 minutes after you instruct them to, I don't know, cook eggs or something. They're not just going to stand at the stove and let their hunger go down and let the hours tick by like they do in The Sims 4. The simulation lag. The simulation lag in The Sims 4 is what really, I think, breaks the game to me, and they just, like, never fix it. Like, one thing about that game that pisses me off the most is that they're always releasing these updates, right? So they break the mods because they release the updates. And the mods, sometimes you have, because you need to, like, fix something in the game that they haven't taken the time to fix. So, you know, when you're releasing all these updates that break the things that actually fix your game, just to fix, like, one problem that nobody's ever reported, like, it's pretty annoying. And then they'll give us, like, a free t-shirt or something. Like, in the game, they'll give us a free t-shirt, and they'll be like, "Oh, new content coming out," and it's like, "Okay, but, like, can you play the game?" Because last time I checked, like, it's so easy to get your kid taken away in The Sims 4 because they just don't take care of them even when you tell them to. Anyway, that's enough of me ranting about that game because that one's, I feel like we all know, just kind of a disaster. But this is the last room of the house, Alexander's bedroom. I'm really proud of how this one turned out. I think it's very cute and cozy. I used this wallpaper, which I think is converted again from The Sims 4. And then this bed, which is converted again from The Sims 4. But I went with kind of like a little space theme in here. Because I kind of like to have Alexander get involved with science and all of that, which, I mean, you know, he has like a family legacy with science. Plus now his mom's been like abducted by aliens, so I feel like, you know, maybe he's a little bit curious about what is out there. Who knows, maybe we'll have him get abducted by aliens in the future. I guess we'll have to see. But I'm really proud of how his room came out. I used a lot of the furniture set that came with, I don't know, probably family fun stuff if I had to guess, because honestly I have no idea for sure. But like all the little kids space themed furniture, I used a bunch of that. And then, you know, just put like his toy boxes and everything. And I think it ended up looking pretty good. I gave him his own computer as well, which, like, you know, I guess he doesn't really need because he's like 8 years old, but I mean, they're so rich, I figured, you know, why the hell not? Why wouldn't he have a computer? So I gave him one of those, and it took me, again, like a ridiculous amount of time just to choose a computer. But I ended up giving him one. And then one more thing I want to say is that we are coming to the end of this video. And when you see the screenshots, you'll see that I did not record, like, doing any of the landscaping outside or any of that. Because, I mean, honestly, that's probably, like, the least interesting part to watch, and I just really couldn't stand making this video, like, any longer because it's already just so ridiculously long. But yeah, I did end up adding a garage and giving them a car and, like, redoing the little cemetery area outside, but yeah, I don't think you missed too much. You'll see it in the screenshots. But we are coming to the end of the video, so thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for letting me sit here and rant about The Sims 4 for 40 whole minutes. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Comment down below, let me know what you'd like to see me do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.